There's an epidemic spreading worldwide amongst teenagers. You'll never know who you can get it from. Usually spread throughout friends and family, it releases dangerous chemicals into your brain, such as formaldehyde. It's irreversible. It's not a virus, parasite, infection. It's vaping. My name is Maddie Robinson, and today I'm here to talk to you about the world of teenage vaping. It went from being a trend that not many of us knew much about to something that we witness on the daily basis, especially being a high school student. But what actually is vaping? It's the vaporization of an e-liquid that contains water, vegetable glycerin, propylene glycol, flavoring, and nicotine. Now, since it has so few ingredients, it seems fairly harmless at first glance, right? Well, once I dug deeper, I discovered some shocking facts. For example, the ingredient I listed as propylene glycol is a colorless, odorless alcohol that is most popularly used in antifreeze. Now, I'm not sure about you, but if it goes under the hood of my car, I don't particularly want to inhale it. So, let me ask you a question. Is it the truth that vaping is a safer alternative to smoking? While vaping is most popularly used to wean off of smoking, then in theory, you go from smoking to vaping to nothing. But a single juul pod contains an entire pack of cigarettes worth of nicotine. So people are going from smoking to vaping, and then their addiction skyrockets. So when they actually want to quit, they plummet into withdrawal. Now, the e-liquid that I mentioned earlier isn't only more addictive, it's also more dangerous, especially to children. Most of the bottles of vape juice are decorated with fun colors and designs to match the fruity flavors that go with it. But that's used mainly to advertise to the younger generation. That doesn't stop it from being attractive to kids as well. Depending on the age and weight, a single sip of vape juice can kill a child. The FDA even pronounced teenage use of e-cigarettes an epidemic due to the 900% increase in recent years. Commissioners told vaping companies to discourage teens from buying and using their products, but the problem with these companies is that most of their income comes from teenagers, so without their money, I'm not even sure if they could support themselves financially. But let me ask you another question. Is vaping fair to all concerned? No. Once these vapors are on oxygen and unable to work, who do you think will be paying for their Medicare since they have no income? You and me, with our tax dollars. I don't think that's fair to anyone to pay for someone else's poor choices. And it's definitely not fair to the children who have suffered from their parents' poor decisions. So moving on, is vaping building better friendships and goodwill? While it may increase your social status very short term, it could, in the pro-vaping community, there's still a whole other side of people that are anti-vaping that are now going against you. While the friendships that you build in the pro-vaping community would probably not last very long since they're based on solely a shared addiction. But meanwhile, your old friends, you could probably lose them due to your vaping addiction now. But one last question. Is vaping beneficial to all concerned? Of course not. Just in the past 4 minutes that I've been speaking, I've convinced myself to steer away from vaping for an entire lifetime. Hopefully some of y'all feel the same way about that. Teenage vaping has become a huge problem in today's society and causing multiple health issues in people who aren't even old enough to purchase these products, much less be using them. But I believe if we increase awareness, use the four-way test, and advertise more of the negative effects of vaping, that we can change the world by stopping teenagers from getting addicted every single day, ultimately saving lives. Thank you.